I'm super excited to be back on your screens where we travel around Eswatini to take a look at the different kinds of businesses that Eswatini have in order to be able to put food on the table with their more inspiring and creative business ideas.
Yo, mina ngubaba wakhe Mncitsisi. So ulima ukufunzelela kimi njengoba nje ngibonakala maso nami ngivele ngiyalima. Okay, kusho ukuthi lapha bokufuya phindze kulima. So yonke lento lapha nje yena usebenzisa amanyolo, umculo uya awuthenga ngoba sokude imfuyo lapha. So ngabona wabese uba naleli thando lokulima vele asemncane. Ngajabula kakhulu nangive nje aceda isikole angitshela ukuthi bama-admit-ile e-University yokwenza i-agriculture. Ngabona ukuthi vele kusho ukuthi uyayithanda. Ngangazange ngi-influence mina ukuthi khetha lo, watikhethela nje ukuthi agriculture.
Mhlambe yini tinkolova ngazo ukuthi kusafateke atifunze asachubha le bhizinisi lokubonako nje wena njengomuntu lomdala mhlambe la ngakhona ukuthi aphushe kakhulu afake amandla ngala intiphi itimfu lotibona ngathi angathuthukisa kule bhizinisi yakhe
Kakhulu ngiloko space lokuhlanyela le tinto ukuthi ishiyane ngabo 2 weeks kungathi nasokuphelile lokho kube nesikhathi emkhathini ngoba imarket ifuna usupply sonke isikhathi. Ngeke ngimu-advise yona manje i-challenge la ifisayo ukuthi le kuma-nursery la athenga khona kwenza ukuthi lokho lakufunayo kusekuncane ngoba kuthatha about 4 to 6 weeks ukuze kulunge. So ngaleso sikhathi leso siyananjani sokuba negap kula sinacedza kuvuna la bese kuba nesikhala yabo bengikhani supply kanti manje a-supply continuously.
mhlambe singathi ngiliphi iphupho lonalo njengoba ubonile ukuthi umntwana wakho soyaqala la umfisela ini mina asachubha le bhizinisi yakhe uyibona indlondlobala kangakanani
Ngimfisela mina ukuthi achubeke ngoba cha ngiyambona lo ukhothela kodwa sifiso sami ukuthi nangathola agcine aneliplaza Midfield or Lowveld la kunemandi khona ngoba cishe yonke infrastructure amapipe nginawo edrip nalawo edinga manje ukuthi nje kude kanjani ngasebenzi kanye lenye i-challenge la ifesayo i-transport njengoba nibonile nje ledura ilori ayikhona ukufika la bese imculo kufanele sacasha iveni lencane nokulayisha lena kanjani lo mkhicido wakhe akakhona ukuthatha lokhulu uhamba ngemoto lencane phindze ibuye futhi nalomgwaqo ke awukalungi nobonile ngisho kodwa ungaphasi kwa-town council. So nayo ama-challenges la ngibona awafisa la.
Siyabona mhlambe lana nidonsa emanti lamanti lawa la sebenziswa kulima niwathatha ko
Chamuke esihosheni ke lamanje.
okay
Sikhule thina bokunemisele sasinisela ngidimfonela nje la. So khanya sasebenza emhlumo nabacitha amapipe la ukunisela etinyoni bafaka i-drip system awathenga. Ngiyalo nje manje sisiwadonsa lapha endle esihosheni ngawo lamapipe ngibose ubona nje sokunenyoni la.
It has been such an uplifting moment hearing from Mncedisi's father about how Mncedisi has started off his business and Guti vele yimpo yala mndenini. So here to hear from the man himself, we're here to talk to Mncedisi. I just chanzela kabandi a bit about his background.
Ngumncedisi Msibi and I'm 27 years of age. And kuthi ngaqala kanjani it was just a hobby. I started doing it as a hobby nje ukuthi ngiyasida lakhaya basically, and then it's just mabang nika a sort of like a seed capital initially, like lettuce tomatoes, and then I ended up going to sell it myself. And then after looking for work and not being successful at it, ngabona le mali engiyithola ngathi why don't I just do it wholesomely and just start making a living out of it. So
There's so many ways in which a person can make money. Why agriculture?
yeah, it's a family thing. I mean, ngikhule ngikubona mangila ngivakashela ekhaya nasesikoleni. Unfortunately angade ngatichaza kanjani ngenta i-agronomy earlier. But I guess yeah, it's a family thing. I just go into it and it's something I've got a passion for.
And what would you say are the best aspects of being you, like of being self-employed? What do you like about being your own boss, rather?
Everything. Like, well, I choose what to do and when to do it. If not me choosing what to do and when, should sing mali like the customers because I have to do this when and how. So mang decide ukuthi ngiyolala, kodwa ngitangithethisa. And yeah, basically it's just directing yourself, giving yourself that schedule. Not being told what to do, when to do it, how to do it. Nale freedom of expression basically is what I think is the best part for me.
Okay, we didn't talk about the products or produce rather that you have lana. Ngicela usichazele ukuthi yini lo ilimako, because we didn't get much into that. Unama-lettuce, unani?
Well, at the moment, well, between January and March, there has to be lettuce and spinach. And then during the course of the year, I also have like onions, like spring onions, then beetroot and carrots. So you just sell that in bunches. And then sometimes in summer, uban and cabbage. So basically, the whole idea about it, in the model sort of, is like farming what is in less supply to the market. So no utilize that maximize the profits because then I see you like in family cool. You understand?
So for a person who's into agriculture, what would you say sets aside you as a farmer from other farmers? What do you use in terms of fertilizers to make sure that your produce is the best?
Old school method.
Which is?
Ufaka it's just crawl manure. Crawl manure improve the soil profile because it rains a lot actually. When it rains a lot, usually the nutrients are washed. So mawufaka umcuba is the best because it's crawl manure, it lasts longer. Mawufaka nje ngiyabekisa this year. The next time utawufaka is probably after 3 years. Rather than usually most people by 70 hours poultry, like lowering hoop.
Yes.
Low actually like wow lasted that long. I think max is just 1 season when it's done. But I'll improve the soil profile in specific. So it's just call manure njengakathi nokhipha umcubo ebusika usele engadini noma ensimini. That's the best way. That's the way I use. Ngibone bakwenda nami ekhaya so I just stuck to it. Not saying ukuthi angibasebenzisi nabo manyolo, ngiyabasebenzisa.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Okay. So it would be naive to think that there aren't any challenges that you face in this business. What would you say are some of the challenges that you encounter, and how do you work around them to make sure that you overcome them?
Well, the major challenge that I encounter during the summer in my natural hazards, like my flash floods and hail in specific. So to mitigate that, I was into looking at the financing for Lama shade nets. Ideally, I would have loved to have a greenhouse in specific, because but then you start small. You have to start somewhere. So greenhouses and lokhona kukushada ungali ngiyatwa kulama hailstones nalama flash floods silina kakhulu kuyalimala lamacembe. And then from then onwards sesingaqhubekela ngilama greenhouse when you get the proper financing to do it. Yeah.
So basically, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Like, what is your dream? I hear that you would like to have like a greenhouse, but what is your dream in the next 5 to 10 years? What are you hoping to achieve out of this business?
And the next 5 years, I have to get another farm, my own personal farm. Hi, Lakai. Yeah, basically, just get another farm. Somewhere probably the ideal place would be Lagos, Profaning, a different region than that. because there are some things that best grow here. They didn't cool there. So tokhona lokuthi sibe nale constant supply of anything and everything during the course of the year. You understand? So in the next 5 years, 5 to 10, I think we would be expanding into another farm and then thinking and packaging. Like things like tolema butternuts, chop them and then you can seal them. Shelf it. Yeah, it's just not tilangala perishables.
Okay.
Basically, yeah.
So, njengoba your house is far away from a station, how do you make sure that people are able to get locally magola? How do people get a hold of you? How do you make sure that your product iyafika kubantu?
I phone, then I go and deliver. Mabasa town.
Okay.
That's the furthest I can go. But for locals, like we never market sales, they just come themselves. Kona la, mathengisele bahamba.
The Dream It Achieve It team has introduced a section where our entrepreneurs are able to meet mentors or business coaches to teach them more rather about a thing or two in the business. Here today on the field we have Delisa Nkambule, mentorship coordinator from the Junior Achievement, here to teach Mngadisi a thing or two about how he can be able to grow his business.
Kule return on investment. Nguphi ke lo ngabe sesefanga specialize in terms of ROI.
The return in investment is what you get for an investment. And you need to understand this investment doesn't only speak to the money that you have spent in buying and in selling. When you are investing, you're looking at a lot of things, including your risk there. So you have to, now we're talking about money. You have to include your money, you have to include your time as well, and you have to include your operations into growing this. Okay. Carrots, you say it takes 3 months, right? What are the operations that are involved in the 3 months?
It's just a matter of watering, we are weed, we are thinner, and then just water and then
It's watering, weeding, and thinning. Medication, I want to say my chemicals that go into it's fertilizer.
Basically, for me, good.
What do you have to do when it comes to lettuce?
We are weed, and then probably we are food for my insects. And then, we also a keep.
And then what you're talking about, we didn't include the chemicals that go into it. You also have to include everything when you are. And then another thing that is going to speak to it, it's climate. If it's agriculture, you have to understand your climate, because different crops and vegetables, they do well in different kind of climates. Yeah. So if the climate where you are, the carrot does better, then the carrot is your best investment. Yes. And another thing, the risks that are carried by that particular vegetable that you want to grow. A fountain, right? Yeah. You're prone to hailstorms and heavy rains. How does carrot react to that? How does lettuce react to that? So can a carrot survive hailstorm?
Yeah, it can.
Can a lettuce survive hailstorm? So you are looking at all of those things. You also include the risk that comes with it before you make your.
Okay.
There is a risk that comes that comes with investing. Yeah? Anywhere, in whatever you invest in, even in the carrots there is a risk, but the risks are not the same.
Yeah.
You can find that there are higher returns that come with lettuce, for example, than carrots, because we are going to have 3 batches of lettuce in 3 months, but only 1 for carrots. Right? But the risk that is carried, you lose everything in that 3 months because of hailstorm. So and then also look at the seasons. Your scheduling.
Okay, I know.
And you people in agriculture, you know best, you have to practice crop rotation, because the nutrients, if you keep on carrot,
depleted.
Yeah.
No, I know, I'm clear. Nice, I'm more man.
Yeah.
Someone pay advice, if anything. ngokucaphela ini uma coming into the field?
Okay, when my advice for anyone in business before we go into the industry, to say it's agriculture, it's manufacturing, or my advice that goes into that one is you start small and grow into the business, so that the risks that come with it, they affect you at a small scale before you go large.
Familiarize yourself
Yes.
logistics.
Ngalama logistics are this, and also create a relationship with your market, a stable one for that matter. Be reliable and upfront with your customers, because most people in the market, they are complaining that these people are not reliable. Today is going to give me the best cabbages ever, next time it's flop and stuff like that, or the next time it's going to deliver on time, the next time is not going to deliver. So it speaks to your scheduling when you are planting to schedule manjani, so that the word that you gives to the customer is what you are going to.
Consistency,
Yes, because when you are not true to your customer, you are damaging the relationship. It becomes difficult, and these people are a network. So if the buying personnel, no matter stockela a certain market, is also the one who stockela a certain market, and they are using the same person, if you damage your name or the relationship, they can affect the business in a big way. Another one is provision for the future. In business, it's not guaranteed that income will always come. As a business person, that is the greatest risk of a business person compared to someone who's employed. If I'm employed, the contract says on the 21st you pay me so much. But in business, it's not guaranteed, especially because in agriculture, it's highly perishable. You can have the best tomatoes and find that the market is flooded, and you have to keep them for 2 weeks, and they go to spoils. That's it. It's unlike other, if I'm selling packaged stuff like sugar, if I go there, I find that the market is packed, I will hold it. And then 2 months down the line, I can go and sell again. But with agriculture, once it's ready, it has to go. Yeah, so it is very important to make provisions from the returns that you get from this season. Reinvest to the business and keep provisions for the future, so that if the income doesn't come the way you're expecting it, at least you have a financial cushion.
It's sort of like insurance, a cushion.
Yeah.
Turbulent times.
Yes. And as you grow, once the business grows, then you can get just the formal insurances. Go for insurance. But now you have to make provisions for yourself as a business person. Uthi sotiholele, so reinvestile, kube nema provisions ebhange le business. But if something happens, I can shoulder those costs going forward. And bookkeeping, like I alluded to that one, it's very important. Even if you want to go finance, let's say you want to get certain equipment, probably you want to change now, you want to do a drip irrigation, and you do not have the funds to make the installation. You cannot make it metikaba, just one
time,
and then you don't have that money, so you go seek finance from somewhere else. They'll come and speak to your books. Say, if we give you our money, is it going to come back? They check out your books. Oh yeah, there's a promise that's going to come back, because the trend of the books, the figures, they say that this person is making.
The Dream It Achieve It team has added yet another segment called Where Are They Now?, where we profile more local entrepreneurs that have been a part of the program before to check out their progress in their different respective businesses. On today's episode, we managed to get a hold of Gcina Dlamini, who started his farming business in 2013. He has done exceptionally well for himself with 10 permanent employees on his payroll. His farming journey has had a transformation from growing baby vegetables on a small scale to harvesting 30 hectares on which he grows beans and maize. Supplying organizations such as the World Food Programme, his success has ensured that schools in the country are always provided for. Using smart climate technology, Gcina hopes to expand his business to 50 hectares and to acquire his own land. Beautiful viewers, as we've seen said by Mncedisi's dad Guti kulima vele kwalakhaya, we've seen the wonderful work that he's been doing, and we hope that he's learned a thing or two, especially from his mentorship coach lomtshelile ukuthi everything must be recorded, and in order to avoid risk into any business kufanele uqale kancane kancane. We hope that you've learned a thing or two, and we hope that you keep watching Eswatini TV, because Dream It Achieve It is about unlocking a world of endless possibilities where the youth is inspired. Keep watching Eswatini TV. Until next time.